Hello, hello, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say call on Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekakwadash, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the God of Gods. There ain't no other gods besides him, okay? Not no gods on earth, not foreign gods that say that they dwell in heaven. The only gods that he made, and get this clear, is Yahweh Shai, the angels, and the Israelites. That's it. That's it. He is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the God of Gods. Ain't no other gods besides him. Okay, we're going to get more into that and why I emphasize that more than anything, because it's a lot going on. The more you study this Bible, the more you understand just how much they destroyed it. That's how much they meddled with it, how much they tried to alter it. So much love to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the God of Gods. There ain't no other gods besides him. And much love to his beautiful only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, the Adonai, the Mahamashiach, the light of this world, the one who died for Israel and covered us in the blood of his new covenant, the new promise. And he blessed Israel, the only nation granted for us salvation. Amen to that. Much love to the beautiful chosen children, which is the chosen among Israel. Whoever you may be among the children of Israel that happen to get this message, much love to you. Much love to the beautiful Akim, the men that's in this word, the beautiful men of Israel. The men of the new covenant, they do everything in their power to show Yahweh Hashem Yahushua they love him and they fear him. And they give us the proper studies, they give us the proper breakdowns, they give us everything that we need, so we know the truth, we know the whole truth, we know that we are the chosen. For those of us that listen, we know that we are the elect. We know that there's the new covenant, the new promise through Yahweh Shai, which will bless us and immune us from all this judgment. So much love to you prophets, man. Y'all out there putting in that work, and I want to show my my love and appreciation for you guys doing what you guys are doing for Yahweh and the Lord. Much love to the Akwaf, the beautiful women that's in the truth, and whether you got a man or not, you still listen to the law, statutes, the commandments of Yahweh. You listen and you learn, and silence to the best of your abilities. Nobody's perfect. I understand that, you know, they bring out Bible scriptures and they do their thing too. Ain't nothing wrong with that, you know. I mean, it ain't perfect. So today's title, coming back at you with another video through the power and spirit of Yahweh, and today's title is you know not the hour. So right now we living in the times to where it's extreme uncertainty. We living in the times to where the peace is about to end. Well, the peace pretty much did end, but I can say it's coming to an end. This time of peace, you know, this time of mercy, this time of chance to get inside the new covenant, the doors of mercy per se, and these times that are coming upon us are about to be very extreme and very dark. Coming upon the times to where the elites got to make their move before they fall out of power in an attempt to keep the power that they have and to keep the birthright and try to keep Israel in perpetual slavery forever, you know, with the new system that's coming on. And, you know, the NWO per se, you know, the Agenda 2030, a lot of this stuff is going to move a lot faster, and they attempt to keep their power and attempts to keep the birthright. A lot of this stuff is about to move way faster. So with having that understanding, we stay vigilant, we stay sober, we stay on point. We watch for the news reports to the best of our abilities, get whatever we can out of these news reports, or listen to the prophets and watch them, and they get whatever we can out of them, because the Bible is constantly breaking itself down, decoding itself through these prophets. They pretty much giving you the Bible for free, giving you the breakdowns for free of charge, like it was designed to be, instead of trying to find ways to make money off of it. You know, they just ask for their donations, they do their thing. You know, it's up to you whether you want to help them or not. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, your tithings are important, so you tithe to your to the prophets that are doing the righteous acts. They're doing whatever they can. They don't have much. They really need the congregation's help to the best of our abilities. So we send them. If they really need help, we send them more. If they don't need help, we still send them money, you know, just to take care of them. I know a prophet that's actually doing his thing, and he rehearsing the righteous acts, and it ain't easy. He's suffering. So, you know, ain't nothing wrong with sliding them $20 to $30, $40. If I have more, then I can try to give more in the future. But for right now, that's what I give. And if he needed emergency help, then I can intervene and help him with that. But, you know, I do the best that I can to help. And I'd rather give it to him because I know exactly where it's going. He's doing the right thing with it. But not to side off from what I was talking about, you know, for the you know not the hour, meaning that you know not the hour when Yahweh Hashem Yahushua come upon you. You don't know when the wrath is about to come down. You don't know when your days are gonna be, when your day is gonna be your last day. You don't know these certain things, so it's best to be prepared. It's best to stay in faith. It's best to stay in truth. It's best to stay in prayer to the best that you can, and try to stay out of trouble. Stay in the new covenant the best that you can, because you got these people that's wandering around in times of uncertainty. So the average Israelite man that's not in the truth and don't know the truth or don't know nothing is wandering around thinking that everything is just going to be the same, thinking that everything is going to be peaceful. Nothing is going to happen anytime soon. He got time, and low-key, he really don't. These things can take place at any day. These calamities that can come at any time. It can come in your sleep. Like I said, one day you can go to sleep and then wake up, and then the next day is the apocalypse. That's how it works. You can go to sleep, and then the next day martial law is locking down all of the 50 states because of some code red or some fake war that's coming, something that they done set up, something that, even though it's the works of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, yes it is, but you know, it's all set up and designed to depopulate, you know, the true children of Israel, which you Negroes, you Mexicans, and the Indians, you guys are the descendants of the children of Israel. You guys are the Israelites, and we all know that now. I was watching a lot of these reels that's coming out about the us, a lot of us people, a good majority of us people, knowing that we the Israelites. But the only thing is about it is that there are very few that embrace that new covenant. It's not a lot of us that embrace the new covenant, so that's the difference. A lot of these prophets, these street prophets, they don't believe in the new covenant. So with that, it's blocking a lot of our people that could be the elect. It's blocking them, so they're not getting the full truth, and a lot of them are not acknowledging the new covenant, because the new covenant is how you get in. It's how you got to get in through Yahweh Shai. You cannot get to the Father. You cannot get to the salvation without getting through the salvation. You kind of get it? So everybody got to come through Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Son Yahweh Shai, to get it. So you got to be in the truth and the covenant, because he is salvation. So Yahweh Hashem Yahushua's blood is the only way that we can be saved. This is why he came. And this is why he completed his passion to save the chosen, those of us that will believe, those of us that will follow him. He came to protect us after he done went through all the neighborhoods, all the ghettos. I wouldn't be surprised that, he didn't go to the rich. But he went through all the ghettos. He went through all the neighborhoods. He went through all the gang territories. He went through all of that to find the chosen, to find the elect, and those of them that follow him. Remember the 12 disciples? Or the 11 disciples, you know, because Judas Iscariot was cut out because he was a traitor. The 11 disciples didn't follow him didn't just follow him. It was other people that dropped everything that they was doing, and they followed him. So that's the people. Those are the Israelites that loved him. Those are the Israelites that have always loved him throughout all the times that a lot of things that had happened due to calamities and different things and wickedness that we couldn't control, because you do have the good and the evil paradigm with Jacob. So you got those of us that are wicked, then you got those of us that are good, you know, that got swept in these different calamities, these different portrayals, due to the wicked, us not controlling the wicked and not having no power to do so, and us ended up in these captivities due to oh hell no. Got these bees. I don't want to get stung. I got stung for the first time in my life. That was last summer. I'm not messing with them bees. Yeah, due to us not keeping the wicked in check, and due to us, just being swept in it. Because you had a lot of people, a lot of our wicked people doing wicked things and doing bad things that cost Israel everything, pretty much. Cost us our high state, our high estate, cost us our royalty, cost us our money. You had a lot of bad Israelites. You had a lot of us corrupted Israelites, and those of us that had a good heart, we knew what was going on, but we couldn't really do too much about it, and during those calamities, and during those times, it wouldn't be no surprise that the Lord would destroy them and either have us go into slavery alive or save us and have us escape out of these things. You did have these things take place, such as war. It does happen like that. Either you go into captivity or you escape into some foreign place, or you escape, because of Yahweh's mercy. That does happen in the book. So, you got to be able to understand that. And living in these times, man, you got the rest of our brothers and sisters, these 2/3 that don't care about nothing. They don't believe in the Bible. They don't have no faith in it. They walking around here like nothing ain't gonna happen to them until boom, it come. So we could get that too. Get that. Damn it. So we are in Matthew 25, and the feature scripture is in there. Not the hour, because you got to be like this. You got to be on guard. You got to be sober. You got to be vigilant. You got to be on point to the best of your abilities. Stay in the new covenant. Stay in prayer, because you don't know when he's coming. You don't know when these things are going to take place, and then you don't know in general when any kind of judgment is going to come upon you. You don't know when Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to have you judged for something of you've done, your wrongdoings, anything. That is still possible. So you got to be on point. You have to be vigilant. You got to keep watch. You got to stay focused. You got to keep putting in your work. You got to keep putting in your faith to the best you can. And just pray that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua will protect you. And not even that, we know that he gonna protect us, but it's still good to have mercy. It's still good to be humble, and that's just what it is. So it says, then shall the kingdom, this is Matthew 25, it says, Matthew 25 verse 1, it says, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins who took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. So we're gonna get that real quick. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. Hello, how you doing? You believe in the Bible? Well, see, there we go again. And it says, and 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were foolish. And they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. And that's the extra oil, is that new covenant. The oil is the wine. The wine is the truth of knowing who you are. The extra oil is that new covenant that's going to get you to meet the bridegroom. It says, while the bridegroom tarried, it says they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go you out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. It says, and the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. It says, and be the wise answered and said, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. It says, but you go rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. So with that being said, these they're gonna want your blessing. They're gonna want the truth. Like when these times do come, they're gonna want that knowledge. And unfortunately, all of that is gonna be sealed off. Yahweh Shem Yahushai gonna put the order into the angels and put the spirit on everybody to silence themselves and to hide themselves from such people, because they didn't go and search for that extra oil. They didn't want that that knowledge, that what it took for them to get into the new covenant. No, for them to be saved. That's the new covenant. That's the other half of it. The first half is for you to know who you are. The first half is for you to know the names of the power and his son, and for you to know who you are. And then the second half is the new covenant for you to be grafted in and for you to know that new promise. Because without that, then how can you be covered? How can you be protected? And then you got, to make matters worse, you got people that try to go by the law. That's not how it works. How you doing? You believe in the Bible? You know you're Israelite? Oh, well, but you got people that actually you got people that's actually trying to obey the laws and live by the laws and be saved by the law. When them not obeying the laws and breaking the laws and not being able to do it perfectly is what was our undoing a long time ago. Abandoning it, not listening to the commandments, going off because of the flesh. And like Yahweh said, my spirit shall not dwell with flesh forever. Because the flesh is corruption. The flesh is weak. But the spirit is good. Like it says in the Bible, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Yes, it is true. We exposed to temptations, all kinds of temptations. Love. You got Israelites that are addicted to sex. There's many drugs besides the material drugs. You got a lot of spiritual drugs that you got a lot of spiritual things that can become spiritual drugs. Like, people be addicted to love. People be addicted to sex. People are addicted to anger. People are addicted to depression. Some people are addicted to violence. That's a good one. And then you got materialistic drugs, physical drugs like weed, alcohol abuse. You got fentanyl. You got crack. You got powder. You got perks. Those are physical drugs. But then you got the ones that are inside, that are mental drugs, that are very powerful, very powerful. You ain't even got to do no drugs, no physical drugs at all to feel this. You could do, you could be off mental things. Mental things that you abuse can turn into drugs. So you gotta be careful. You gotta look out for things like that. You gotta be able to have that kind of understanding that we can't abide by the law. We can't be saved by the law. We got to be saved by the blood of Yahweh Shai, because we wasn't even perfect back then. But we showed our dedication that we was willing to follow. So a lot of us did the same thing that the prophets did in the past. We dropped everything. When he chose the prophets, they dropped everything that they was doing and they left. When they saw him, when they saw the prophets, they saw the miracles that he could do and he given them power to do. Then they dropped everything that they was doing and they started following him. Like, you know what? This is the real deal. I'm going to follow Yahweh Shai. And wherever he go, we go. We dropped everything that we was doing and we left. And in a spiritual way, like the prophets are rehearsing the righteous acts, that's what we should be doing to the best of our abilities now. We ain't got that much strength like these prophets to just abandon everything. Due to the world that we live in, that we're not perfect. We try to strive to be perfect. We ain't perfect. So we do the best that we can. Your tithings, that's part of it. You give tithings to the prophets, you help men. If you got the ability to go out to the highways and byways, go out to the highways and byways and tell people to the best of your abilities, man. Tell them. Let them know who they are. Let them know what it's about. They want to know more. Let them know more. To the best of your abilities. You ain't got to be perfect. You ain't got to be flawless. Go out there and go tell people. Don't be afraid to go out there and try to do something. Try to do something to help our people. That way they can't have no excuse. There ain't going to be no covering. So when these wars come, these plagues come, this destruction comes, the closer and closer we get to whatever this white man feel like he want to move, or he want things to go quickly and get all of this stuff started. They cannot say that they didn't have no covering. They cannot say they didn't have no opening. They can't say they didn't have no mercy, no protection. And that's that. Like I said, America ain't seen no wars in a long time. They ain't seen war. Our people ain't seen war in a long time. Not in their lifetime right now. They'd have been hearing about it, for America wise, Now, as far for some other Israelites, like Venezuela and other places, like England, you got Israelites all the way out there, that's dealing with all that. But America, all of us for right now, a lot of us ain't seen no kind of war, A lot of us ain't seen that violence. A lot of us ain't seen no collapse in a long time, even though, in your past lives, according to the Bible, you've experienced it. You've seen collapses of empires. Yahweh Shem Yahushua delivered us a long time ago. In our past, he delivered us a long time ago. So we haven't seen it in a long time. That's all that is. We ain't seen it in this lifetime neither, so we ain't experienced it. But when these times come, you're going to experience it. When these times come, these things are going to happen. And guess what? You've been told, you heard about it. You've been walking past these people that's been trying to help you, especially the people that know about the new covenant. They ain't even give you a chance to tell you about the new covenant if you don't stop and listen. That's how very few it is. That's how much they don't care. That's how much they are in their comfortability. So you gotta understand. Like I said, that metaphor is strong. I'm surrounded by idiots. That's true. That is very true. You got a lot of premature, underdeveloped people that, especially of our people, that's like babies, that's like lambs. They got to be led. Sometimes they got to be forced to be followed so they can be guided in the right path. They not that bright. They walk into traps obliviously. They walk over cliffs unconsciously. They not fully developed. They don't have the smarts. You got to understand. You can have the knowledge, but if you don't have that spiritual knowledge, then what's the point? If your knowledge, and if you don't have the knowledge of the Bible, if you don't know what's going on, if you don't have, that's the real knowledge. But I'm just saying, if you don't have that spiritual aspect, if you don't know the truth, then it makes the physical knowledge that you know about this world useless. So we can finish reading this. But at the end of the day, you got a lot of our people that are just children. You can be 35, 45 years old. You a child, man. You a child. You virtually, you got people walking around remedial, man. It's crazy, bro. You got people walking around that only learned what they learned, what it takes to survive. You got some of them that know certain majors, that are smart in certain things, but it doesn't cover the fact that you don't know the truth. You don't know the new covenant. So that makes you not bright at all. That makes you dumb because you don't know what it takes to save yourself. You don't even know your power. You don't even know Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You don't know the Bible. You don't know nothing. So you got our people walking around in dangerous times, not knowing when these times befall them. When these times befall them, they're not gonna have no salvation. They're not gonna know what to do. They're just gonna be, cornered. And these wolves is gonna come. These wolves gonna come. These wolves gonna pop up in sheep's clothing. And they're going to come and slaughter the children of Israel. All of them that's not under the new covenant. All of them. They all going to get slaughtered. Even if they fight back, even if they resist, it's not going to be enough to save them. The guns ain't the answers. Your numbers ain't going to be the answers. Even though, like they said, Judah shall be a terror to Egypt. That's true. They gonna do a lot of damage. But it's going to be a lot of mass death and a lot of casualties on their side too. So it says... It says, but the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. It says, but you go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. It says, and while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went with them to the marriage, and the door was shut. It says, and afterwards came also to the virgin, saying, Yahweh, Yahweh. No, it says, Lord, Lord, open to us. It says, but he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. So that's what's going to happen. I don't know you. That the Lord is going to be refusing a lot of people that's going to want to be saved at the end times. Because you got a lot of people that's going to know Yahweh's name. They're going to know Yahweh, they're going to be looking for Yahweh's name. They're going to find it, but they're going to realize that it's not going to save them. It's not going to save them because all of this stuff that you just now discovered, the elect and everybody been found the way. We've been found his name. We've been calling on him. We've been praying. We've been trying to put in work to the best of our abilities and tell y'all. So by the time you find it, we already got it and it's over with. The Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and already slid through and came and picked up the ones that wanted to go, those of them that were meant to be his children. He's already gone. So you're going to be left alone in this world full of darkness, full of demons, full of destruction, full of war, full of pestilence. You're going to be left behind in these things, and you're not going to know nothing. You're just going to be left behind in darkness. Not a lot of people is going to be saved in these times. You know, some people, their cases might be different. Some of them might not be all that bad, you know, but judgment is going to go out, and it's going to go out accordingly. That's all I'm going to say, because you got some people that still can be valid for salvation, you know, but at the same time, by the time these times come, it's not looking good for those of them that don't have the truth. It ain't looking good for them at all. They don't have no protection. They haven't been praying. They haven't been working on their spirituality. That's Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is your spirituality. He is your God. He is your spirituality. He's everything. And you ain't been working on that. So the Lord is only looking at those of them that's trying to work on that. That's trying to show him that they love him. You know, trying to show him that we here, we acknowledge you. Don't forget about us. It's that simple, man. It's like it says, for the turning away of the simple shall slay you. What wasn't that difficult to understand? It was the same thing that was going to get you taken out. And at the same time, the Lord got to put it on your spirit to understand and understand the whole thing. Like it says, eat the whole bread, eat the whole thing. So you got the beginning, what you know. You got the beginning on how you start off. You put off all the bad things. You know, you clean yourself because you know the name, you know the power, you know who you are. You got the middle part where you got the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know the history. You know the Bible to the best of your abilities. You know everything that you need to know. And then you got the end part, which is that new covenant that is going to deliver you. And with that new covenant and understanding, you in the clear. You ate the whole road. You understand the whole thing. And it wasn't that hard. It wasn't that difficult. And then at the same time, it's through destiny too. Yahweh got to put the spirit on you to understand that. It just has to be that way. Not everybody is chosen. Not everybody's going to make it. So, and it's all a part of Yahweh's will. This is how it's going to work. So it says, wherefore, it says, watch therefore, for you not know neither nor the day nor the hour when the Son of Man cometh. It says, for the kingdom of heaven is a man traveling into a far country who called his own servants and delivered them his goods. It says, and unto him he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1. It says, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. So it says, and likewise, he that had received 2 also gained another 2. It says, but he that received 1 dug it in the earth and hid Yahweh's money. That's true. Hid the Lord's money. It says, after long, the Lord of those servants came and reckoned with him. It says, and so he that received 5 talents came and brought the other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents, and behold, I have gained beside them 5 more talents. It says, and his Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful for over a few things. It says, I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of Yahweh, into the joy of the Lord. It says, he also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. It says, his Lord said unto them, well done. It says, and good and faithful servant, thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of Yahweh. It says, then he that had received that 1 talent came and said, Yahweh, I knew thee, or Lord, I knew thee. It says, thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strewed. It says, and I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast thine what is thine. No, there thou hast what is thine. That old English be twisting my tongue up. It says, thou art therefore have placed my money with the exchangers. It says, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with interest. It says, Take therefore the talent from him and give it unto him that have 10 talents. It says, for unto everyone that have shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away, even which that he has. So you got some of them that know the truth and didn't do nothing about it. They didn't do nothing about it, bro. They heard about it. They knew about it. They knew the name. They knew the truth. They knew all that. You got some of them that even know about the new covenant, didn't do nothing about it. Didn't go out and go tell nobody. Didn't show the truth. Didn't post no videos. Didn't do anything about it. They just sat there and was like, you know what? That's the truth. I know the truth. That's it. And that's all they did. So when Yahweh Shai come back and he come to check everybody and he come to check how strong your faith has gotten, you got the ones that got a lot of faith, and you got the ones that got a little faith and didn't care no less. They didn't try to go and share it with nobody. They didn't try to go outside to the highways and byways and try to put in no work to try and flip what they had. You know, and we learned a lot of this stuff through trial and error at the same time. We mess up, we come back again, we try again, we mess up, we try it again, we do everything in our power. We don't give up. Oh, shit. Woo. Come on, this bee, man, coming to inspect me. I just don't want to get stung again. That shit hurt. But we tried everything in our power to help. We didn't give up. We just kept going. And that's what Yahweh is looking for. He's like, okay, so he is telling people he's doing the best that he can. It might not be everything. It might not be all that perfect, but you are out there. You're doing what you can to help, and you letting people know, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm going to add on to you more faith. I'm going to add on to you more promise. I'm going to add on to you more reward. And that's how that works. But you got those of them that are know about everything, and they don't do a damn thing about it. They just sitting around. It's like, oh, okay, well, I know the Lord, and one of these days he gonna come save me, and that's it. All I gotta do is pray, and he gonna come. Or some of them don't even pray. Well, that's good to know. You know, they walk past and be like, that's good to know, or they just ignore you altogether. And then when it's time for salvation, you even got some of them that did know and put in little to nothing. And when it's time to be saved, Yahweh Shem Yahushai didn't recognize them, didn't care about them, none of that, and left them behind. He had to leave them behind. And that's exactly what's going to happen. You got a lot of these prophets out there that's not doing nothing, and that's just lazy. They not even getting up to go try. They're not being faithful. You could go out once or twice a week. They're not even doing that. They probably do two or three videos, and then afterwards, that's all that they got on their thing. Just literally two or three videos. That's it. Compared to a lot of us that's making a gang of videos, whether people is listening or not. I've been doing this for a long time, so I've been making a lot of videos whether people is listening or not. You know, but I get more attention on the highways and byways, whether I get ignored or not. At least I encounter these people compared to the desert, which is called the internet to me. And I'm not getting no acknowledgement at all. I'm getting ignored. I'm still getting ignored here, but I encounter more than I would on the internet. A lot of people is ignoring it. They just watching my reel, and then they skip past it because it's not entertaining. It's not alluring. I'm not using no cartoons. I'm not using no quick videos. I don't know how to do all of that. I just put a picture up there. I put a Bible scripture. That's it. You know, I'll probably get like 100 views here from that reel. I'll probably get like 73 views from a reel there. And then when I get to my videos, I probably got like 1 or just 0 because it's constantly being blocked. It's constantly being censored. So, you know, it's just not a lot of it going around. It's not a lot, but I still try and I do the best that I can to get people attention. And that's exactly what Yahweh is looking for. That's what the Lord is looking for. He's looking for all of that. You're like, damn, these people, you got some of them that's trying the best that he can. You got some of them that got it and they got the power to do something and they don't do nothing at all. Yahweh is not going to acknowledge them. He's not going to want them. It says, cast ye. It says, cast ye. It says, but from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which ye have. So your faith and all that is going to be given to another person. That's just how it is. Everything that you have is going to be taken away, man. All of that is going to be taken away. And the next person going to have more and you ain't going to have nothing. So that's how that works. Faith is money too. Faith is money, man. Faith is money. Your works are a currency. That's money. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not going to forget that. He's not going to forget that. So, yeah, you know, that's just how the game worked. And it's just sad because them people that ain't doing nothing at all, that done heard it, they going to want salvation. They going to seek it with all their heart and their mind at the last minute. Not even at the last minute. When the last minute over with and all hell break loose, that's when they going to seek it. Because that's how dumb they are. That's how dumb they are. You know, they dumb. They don't do nothing to prepare for the danger. But when the danger comes and they realize, oh, they've been telling the truth about it, then they want to prepare for it when it's too late. That's how it's gonna happen. Whew, I need to look out. Bees, man, they want to take me out. Oh man, let me keep moving. Oh my goodness, this bee is fucking irritating. Sorry. Yeah, but that's how it is, man. It says, and cast you, the unprofitable servant, into outer darkness. There shall be a weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's right. The Lord gonna leave you behind and leave you for these demons, leave you for these soldiers, leave you for the white man, leave you for the beast of the earth. You know, whatever happens to you is gonna happen to you. Whatever goes down is gonna go down. Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, I got who I came for. I'm no longer worried about you. And then after that, it's time for me to go. What? And that's just what it is, man. That's just what it is. But I'd rather be out here trying to do something than not doing nothing at all. How you doing? Hello? How you doing? You believe in the Bible? See? Nobody wants to listen to me. But it's okay. Because Yahweh's saying, like, he's trying, man. He's trying. But it says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, it says, and all the holy angels with him, then he shall sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divide the sheep from the goats. It says, and he shall set them on his right hand, he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. It says, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye, blessed of my Father, and inherit the kingdom prepared for you for the foundation of the world. That's true. It says, for I hungered, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. That's right. It says that. Blessed are you that believe in Yahweh, and you haven't even met him. That's true. We believe. And we didn't even get a chance to meet him. Not yet. But we went on faith. We know he a good man. We know he's not some estranged spirit that's coming into our life or coming into our home. We know he's not there to destroy us. We know that he's there to protect us. He's there to watch over us. He's there to lead us out of all this darkness and to show us all the secrets of the world, to show us all his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And we are his people. You know, we are his destined people. So we understand all of that. So we know not to be afraid of him when he do come. We know. So it says, and I was a stranger and you took me in, naked and you clothed me. It says, I was sick and you visited me. I was in my prison and you came unto me. That's right. So when Yahweh wasn't around, we kept coming to check in on him. We kept coming to pray. We kept coming to read our Bibles. We kept listening to the prophets. Some of us brothers kept going out to the highways and byways to get people to listen, you know, and we let him in. That's all that happened. We let him into our hearts. We let him into our minds. We let him into our spirit. And we want we want those of us, all of our people to do the same, but they not. They going to keep their doors closed. Whenever he came to knock, you know, whenever it was time for him to come to knock and to visit, they would ignore him. You know, that he would send his messengers to come to get you to open up so he can, you know, he can come in. You know, they wouldn't let him. They would ignore him when he was asking for food, when he was asking for water, when he was asking to be clothed, when he was asking just to be heard, for a shoulder to cry on. You know, because he wants to see who believes. He wants to see who loves him. He wants to see who remembers. And that's it. And that makes perfect sense. It's human. It's not human nature, but I'm just saying it makes perfect sense. Why would somebody want to be around you when you forgot about them. You know, you got people like that. Just because you all, you got forgotten about, and nobody cared about you. But when you came back, you all refined, you better, you look better, you making more money, life is good for you. You posting pictures, things is popping for you. You going out to go see certain things and doing all that. And now the people that forgot about you want to appear. They want to appear. And it's like, what's the point of me having you around when you didn't care about me? You didn't check in on me. You didn't see how I was doing. You didn't give me no chance. You didn't motivate me. You didn't pick me up while I was down. You didn't call me. You didn't do none of that. So what's the point of you being around me when I'm at my low time? Now I'm at my high time. Now you want to be around. It makes perfect sense. And it's the same thing with Yahweh. I don't want you around when you didn't care about me. I didn't want you around when you didn't even try to call me. Where have you been? Like, I got friends, I got family, I got them people that care about me. They're around, they with me right now. So where have you been all this time? Why you waiting for Yahweh to get to the finish line. That's what it is. It's the same thing for us. For those of us that's constantly trying to do better, constantly trying to build ourselves up, when it comes to appearance, a little bit of money in your pocket, you're trying to look better, get your apartment, get your stuff together. You got people that you don't even know is waiting for you at the finish line. Especially for us men. Getting ripped, getting your money together, get you a new car. And people are so materialistic. When you start posting pictures of yourself, when you start posting your car, you in your nice apartment, you going out, you taking pictures, you in photo shoots, you with your friends, you outside having a good time. That's when the females want to pop up. That's when the people that ain't been around you for years want to finally make an appearance and be like, I knew you could do it, brother. Where have you been? We should meet up sometimes. Things like that. And it's like, damn, like, where was all y'all when I was at my dark time? Where were you? Where were you people when I was poor, when I was broke, when I was lost in these streets? Where was you when I was addicted to all these drugs? Where was you at? Where was you at when I was on the blocks? Where was you at when I was a beggar? Where was you at when I was a thief? All them people was nowhere to be found. And when you fell and you fell into that darkness, nobody was there. It's the same thing with Yahweh Shai. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Even though we know the Lord ain't in no dark place, I'm just saying that our people forgot about him. They didn't care to look for him. But some of us did, and Yahweh remembers that. I respect that. And it's the same thing in our lives, man. Nobody was there. And when we finally hit that finish line and we really started coming up, that's when people started popping out. You got your appearance right. You ripped. You starting to take pictures with your shirt off. That's when the females start sniffing around. They start hitting you up. Hey, it's been a long time. Where have you been? Oh, yeah, we should meet up sometimes. We should plan some things. I wouldn't mind seeing you. Oh, now you want to see me now, but you didn't want to see me when I was down. It's the way of the world, but at the same time, this is why this is why a lot of these people gonna get abandoned. You're not gonna get no help. But the prophets gonna have these supernatural powers, and they can only want to help the ones that believe. They gonna only want to heal the ones that have the faith, the ones that supported them, the ones that sought Yahweh sought Yahweh Shai. And his angels is down here on the earth, and all they doing is waiting to be activated at this point so they can come and help those of us that are chosen that don't get no powers. And we gonna be taken care of. Hell, like it said in the Bible, those of us that the prophets was given other prophets powers. So those of us that are considered small-time prophets, we receive our blessings from the other prophets. If Yahweh wanted it so, we will receive power, and we will be able to help others. But I'm not gonna be able to help. I'm not gonna want to help you, and you didn't believe, you didn't care. Then you coming back. Look, then they coming back at the end times, and all this stuff is happening. All these families happening. We sitting up there somewhere by the water, somewhere by an oasis. We sitting up there in the middle of the forest, having a good time, watching TV, playing games, doing Bible study with each other, showing off the gifts that Yahweh gave us. We out in the house and it's heavily guarded, and you knocking on the door wanting us to come out to come meet you. You gonna have people that you ain't seen in a minute. Hey, you remember me? oh man, I used to see you. I used to walk past you while you was out there on the highway with the Bibles. You had asked me, did I believe in the Bible? You had asked me these things. You told me that, but I didn't believe you, and they want to apologize. I'm sorry for all of that when it's far too late. But they're gonna, as people in these times, when these times get extreme and they dark, you're gonna be having to pass by these people during these horrible times. You're gonna be straight. You're gonna be headed to or looking for the rest of the elect. That's blessing in these times to be delivered. And you're gonna be passing by these people. They're gonna be like, hey, I know him. Hey, I used to see him on the block. He used to be preaching and all that too. Can you help me? My kids are starving. Can you look out for me, man? I really don't have much, man. I'm just looking for a helping hand. I need to be protected. Where you at? Where can I be where you are? The names of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Can you heal me? Can you shelter me? Because it's all this bad stuff happening, and I'm sorry for ignoring you. And all we gonna say is, well, that's what you get. Some of us ain't gonna say nothing at all, gonna be ignored, and some of us gonna tell them, like, look, this is what you get. This is where you gonna be at, bro. I can't help you no more. I don't have no right to do that. I don't have no power to help you. I'm only here to help the elect. Because the Lord is gonna remember their iniquities. And then most likely, Yahweh gonna give these prophets the power to see. So they're gonna be able to see all your sins. They're gonna be able to see everything that you've done. They're not gonna be worried about all that, but I'm just saying they're gonna be able to see everything, and they're gonna be able to be like, damn, this nigga, Salakia, forgive me. Damn, this person didn't have no faith at all. I don't see no faith in him. They're not gonna just be looking at your sins in your life and how you live. They're gonna be looking at it. Did you have faith? Did you try to change? Was you on the highways and byways? Did you do any videos? Was you listening to the prophets? Was you helping them? They gonna be able to see that, and they gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna save him. That's real, man. He ain't gonna save you, man. You're not ready to deliver. You like this world, Those of us that's here, we doing what we can to survive. We get blessed by how we get blessed, but we know how to share it. We know how to equalize it. We know what we're doing, And our purpose is to help the prophets that's doing the rehearsing of righteous acts and being as good as we can to people, Not to everybody, but, to the people that are around us, So when you have that understanding and that type of stuff, Yahweh is going to be refusing a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be praying to be delivered while they sitting up in a row in front of gunfire for execution, and they're not going to get saved. A lot of them is going to be starving to death, and then they're going to finally pray. You got people like that. That's what only time that they pray to the Lord, and this is wicked. The only time that you pray to the Lord is when you in your dire straits. Is when you in your darkest hour. Is when you on your deathbed. That's the only time you'll pray like Yahweh. And some of them gonna know his name. Some of them gonna know his name. They're gonna be like, Yahweh, I ain't came to you in a while, and I know that I didn't believe, and I've done a lot of things, and I didn't even do nothing. I didn't even do nothing to put no work in, but I know who you are. I let you in, and I love you. And just deliver me from these pains. Just deliver me from all of this. And Yahweh is gonna see, and he's gonna feel offended. The Lord gonna feel offended. Like, what? Like, oh, now you need my help. And I've been trying to help you all this time. When I asked you to do something for me, you didn't want to go do nothing for me. You didn't even want to try. You just went about your day. And on top of that, you was even talking about me like I wasn't real. You was making fun of me. You was making fun of the people that was out there that was trying to help you, that you happened to walk past. All you cared about was money, cars, clothes, females. That's all you cared about. Now you dying from starvation or from some hideous disease, or probably from both. Now you want to call me on your last breath, and the Lord gonna let them die. He gonna let them go on their last breath. He gonna let that man that's calling him, that know his name, get shot up in that gunfire, and on that execution pole. He gonna let them females, and he gonna let that female and her children be attacked by marauding animals, by tigers and bears and all of that. He gonna let her. Even when she called upon him, he gonna let her have it, because none of these people believed or cared before. Now they believe and they care when it's too late. So it says. It says, then the righteous shall answer him, saying, Lord, when we saw thee hungered and fed thee, or thirsty, it says, when saw we the hunger and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? It says, when saw we thee a stranger, and took you in, or naked, and clothed thee? It says, and the king shall answer unto them, it says, verily I say to you, inasmuch as you have done it unto me, of the least of my brethren, it says, you have done it unto me. It says, then shall he say unto them of the left hand, depart from me, you cursed, into everlasting fire, and prepare for the devil and his angels. He's going to cast you into World War III and leave you there. He's going to leave you there on a nuclear day. You're going to see the nuclear bombs go off and tremble. You're going to piss in your pants, man, when you see these things happening, and you're not going to be delivered. And a lot of people that know the Bible, they're going to know that. And then you got people that's on the, you got people that's actually, no, you got the average Christian that actually believe like, oh, you're supposed to feed the hungry. You're supposed to feed the homeless. That's not so. That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works at all. They actually out here giving to the, that's a good charity. I'm going to be real. That's a good charity. But that's not what he was talking about. What he was talking about was you feeding the, damn, she got a lot of kids. Woo-wee. These times is harsh as ever. Oh my goodness. Poor children. You don't know what you've been born into. Yeah. These women got it hard, boy. But they say they want to be men. I'm looking at this female, she got like, what, how many? She got 4 kids, man. No car, none of that. These females want to be without the man, so that's what they get. Woo, that's, oh my goodness. My goodness, have mercy. Well, never mind. They don't have no faith. They don't have no faith, man. But, you know, with that being said, you know, these people not going to get saved, man. Like I said, it's best to be prepared. You don't know the hour when Yahweh Shem Yahushua going to come upon you. You don't know these things, man. You don't know these times that's going to be so extreme, man. Like they say, you better get into this new covenant. You better get into this. You better get some of this, man. This is your chance. This is the blessing. This is what's going to save you, man. It says, for you gave me, it says, then he shall say unto them that's on the left hand, depart from me, my curse. No, depart from me, you curse. So it's a lot of people that's doing that. And you got a lot of Christians and all of them that's thinking that they have salvation, because they help the poor, they help these bums, they help these people that couldn't help, themselves, which is good charities and all that. But because you're not called by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you didn't acknowledge him, you was worshiping some idol, you didn't come out of the lie, you didn't come into the truth, you don't know the new covenant, you don't know these things well, then all of them charities and all them good things that you was doing was to help the world. It wasn't to help you. It wasn't help to deliver you. You didn't have no belief, no shred of faith. So with that being said, you could be left behind with the rest of these people that you had tried to call yourself giving good charities. I see it every day. And these Christians just be like, yeah, like the Lord said, help feed the hungry, feed the poor, feed the lost, clothe them. That's not what he was talking about. He was talking about the elect. He was talking about the chosen. He was talking about your fellow brother, your fellow Israelite, the ones that's in the truth, and the ones that's without the truth. Give them the truth. That's what's going to cover you. That's what's going to feed you. That's what's going to protect you. He's talking about your mind. He's talking about your spirit. He's not talking about the body. This is ridiculous. People got their priorities and the things that they believe in messed up, bro. Messed up. So it says, then he shall say unto them, I'm about to close out. It says, to them on the left hand, depart from me, you cursed ones, into everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. They're not talking about hell. They're talking about them nuclear bombs. So it says, for I hungered, and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you took me not in. It says, naked, and you clothed me not. I was sick and in prison, and you visit me not. That's right. The Lord, you didn't even remember me. You don't even care about me. You know, you wasn't there. You know, a lot of us was there, bro. A lot of us remember, like, you know what? I remember. You know what? I got to go visit Yahweh. I got to go hear him. He asked to hear from me. I got to go check on him. You know, oh, how the prophet doing? How is he doing? He needs some money. You know, look out for him. You know, listen to his videos. Listen to what he got to say. Take that in. Oh, he breaking down the Bible? I got to hear this. You know, there's certain things that I don't know about the Bible. I don't know everything about the Bible. He knows certain things that I don't know. Yahweh put them there for that purpose, for you to hear what Yahweh got to say, you to clothe them, you to drink, you to give them drink, you to meet them when they're in their prison, when they're in this hell, when they got to go through all this, especially for them dudes that's rehearsing the righteous acts. You know, some of them, they don't have nothing. You know, some of them is really doing this. Best thing you could do is send them something, or you can do your weekly tithings. Look out for them, take care of them. You know, show you how about Shem outside that you there, meet and give him something. You know, you could be paying for this. You could be paying for this prophet's meal. You could be paying for him for a place to stay. You know, that this is how you look out for Yahweh Shai. You look out for his chosen. You look out for the prophets. You look out for Yahweh Shai. You pray to Yahweh Shem Shai, the Lord. You know, you don't forget about him. You always remember, pray to the highest. Pray to Yahweh Shem Shai day and night. Make sure you do some videos. Get into your Bible. Show him that you're there. Spend some time with him. You ain't got to be there. You ain't got to see him, feel him, and touch him. That's carnal minded, man. This is spiritual. You got to be spiritual. So it says, then shall they also answer him, saying, when saw we the hunger or the thirst or the stranger or the naked or the sick in prison and did not minister unto thee? So when they say stuff like that, they're going to be like, well, if I would have saw you, I would have took care of you. If you would have came to my door, I would have let you in. This is carnal minded. This ain't got nothing to do with the spirit. This is how dumb our people are. This is how wicked they are, because they see things, they can touch things, they can feel them. That's real. Because Yahweh Shem outside didn't appear to them and then be like, let me in, you know, or can we talk? Or he wasn't on the highways and byways himself. They passed right by the people that believed him. They passed right by the prophets. They passed right by the people that was letting them in, because Yahweh Shai wasn't standing right there. This is ridiculous, man. This is the carnal mind that I was talking about, being carnal minded. Oh, if you was there, you know, if you was real, that's what he was saying, and that's what's going to offend the Lord. You ain't got no spirit, do you? You don't have no faith. You don't have none of that. So it's like, what's the point of me even talking to you? Why should I even care about you? And it's very disrespectful. Like I said, I have made a video about being carnal minded, but it never made it on the upload. I don't know. The upload just kept failing. So I'm just going to upload it from my iPhone. I guess sometimes the tablet be tripping or whatever, but it never made it, you know. So it's okay, you know. But that's pretty much what a carnal mind is, you know. As long as they getting the money, as long as they getting the cars, as long as they getting their place to stay, they got the clothes on their back, they feeding their kids. That's God to them. That's real. That's real. And like the Lord said, man, and like he said, when did we know that? When did we didn't clothe you? No, when did we walk past? When did we not walk past you? They don't even know. What is he talking about? We don't even understand what he's talking about. That means that they don't understand the Bible. They don't understand the parables. They don't understand what that means. But for those of us that's been listening to these prophets, we've been reading the Bible, we've been rehearsing these precepts, and we've been getting this understanding, and we didn't have to do nothing to get it. All we have to do is attend the prophets' classes and listen. We know the truth. We got the study. We got the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We got it. But compared to the rest of everybody else, they not going to understand nothing. They're not going to understand none of the dark sayings, none of the parables. They're not going to be able to solve the mystery. They're going to be trying to figure it right there on the spot. What is he saying? What is he talking about? And the Lord going to be like, you know what? Get out of here. I don't even want you, man. Just go. So it says, then he answered to them saying, and it says, and did not minister unto thee. It says, then he answered unto them saying, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as you did not one of these, the least of these things, right? The least that you can do is hear him out. Right, the least that you can do is hear him. The least that you can do is believe. Like, come on, man. That's the least that you can do. Like he said, faith is a mustard seed. If you tell this mountain to move, it's going to move. That's the least that you can do, bro. They don't even do that. So it says, and these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous shall enter into everlasting life. That's right. So this everlasting life, I'm about to close out. This everlasting life means that you don't have to die to get to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You don't have to die to make it to the kingdom of heaven. You don't have to. You're not going to die. And if you do pass away, you probably die by no pain. You know, he take the body, but not the spirit. Or he could take you all together, you know, take you all together, you know, give you a new body, or renew, or cast away this old body, give you something new, and you live forever. You don't have to die by no pain. You don't have to cross over and have to feel this horrible pain that's coming to the rest of everybody else, man. And that's exactly what the Lord is trying to avoid. To people that's good, to people that believe, to people that understand and know the Bible, they know what he's talking about, they believe in him. They don't deserve such a horrible fate. They don't deserve to get shot up. They don't deserve to get raped. They don't deserve to get trafficked. They don't deserve to be put in death fights. They don't deserve to be... They don't deserve to be in pointless wars where everybody is dying. They don't deserve to be killed by some demonic spirit or some horrible pestilence. They don't deserve these things. That's wrong. You know, that Yahweh see that. He said they don't deserve that. That'll be wrong for me to just leave these guys behind. And they did everything in their power, you know. And these are the elect. These are the ones that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is looking at. You know, people like me, people like King Yahweh the Maccabees and the other prophets that he know, people that's listening to him day to day, people that's out there trying to help, you know, our people catch on and, you know, get some of this knowledge, whether they care or not. You know, we the people, we the ones that the Yahweh want. We the chosen that he wants. That's who he looking at. Good people, you know, not these evil, bad people. They can get left in all of this, but he gonna come get us, you know. So with that, calling Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua has been good. It's a nice hot day, and I'm gonna make my way back home and get ready for my gym. And that's pretty much it, you know. This is what you come out to do. You try to help people, you know, the best you can. Your people, you try to help them. They don't want to get help, fine. You know, but I'm going to help, you know, and that's all that it takes. That's all that it takes. And with that, you know, if anything, I can save myself. You know, like I said, you got to go through the narrow to reach the abroad. You can't save them. They got to be able to save themselves. You can save yourself. You can't save others, though. You know, and Yahweh constantly teach that. Save yourself. You got the power to deliver yourself. That's how easy it is. You know, to call on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, deliver yourself. You know, the Lord that come save you, they did it. Why can't you do it? And that's how it's gonna be in these days to come. And with that, I'm out of here.